When I was 8 years old, I was locked in a car. Kind of like a puppy being put in like a vehicular oven by like the person they love the most, and they watch everyone walk by like waiting for someone to break the window and let them out. But I had thumbs, so maybe I wasn't like a puppy. I was kind of just like a dumb 8-year-old that could have unlocked the door at any time. See, this weekend I was at a horse show. My sister is 2 years older than me, so she was 10 and she was competing. When she was 3, she told my mom that she wanted to be a horseback rider. And my mom, by her nature, jumped headfirst into that. She became an instructor and she taught at a barn nearby, paid for my sister's education in horseback riding, and these two rode that dance for the next 17 years. So horse shows were pretty natural for me to go to and hate. We'd leave in the middle of the night to travel far away from Boston, where these little bubbles of, not excitement, but like soccer moms on steroids would sort of be a good classification for them. They're cutthroat, and they do anything to see their little girl succeed, / also anything to see yours fuck up. So I hated these. And I woke up in the car, because slept the whole way there. And my mom let me know that my sister's trainer was not going to be there today. So my mom had to shoulder the burden, pick up the slack, and beyond being one of these steroid soccer moms that you kind of have to be, she had to do everything else, like unload the horses, muck the stalls, lunge the horses, give my sister sort of impromptu coaching on how to run the routes and what steps she needed and what jumps and things like that. And then afterwards, when there's the performance, she would have to cheer her ass off. So with a whiny and fussy 8-year-old that had so many better things to do, like watching TV or playing video games or not being at a horse show, it's a little too much to juggle. So she wanted me to stay in the car, and she locked the door because she didn't want she wanted me to get lost. She wanted me to get taken or trampled by these massive beasts, the soccer moms. But she turned the AC on and she left me with my little portable DVD player. We didn't have enough money for one of those cool trucks with the screens in the headrests, or like the one that comes down. So we had the portable DVD player with like a catalog album of DVDs. But I only watched Shrek. It lived in that DVD player, and I was very happy. Classic story of a donkey coaxing out an ogre to find true love. It's touching, really. So I was very happy to do that, and as time went by, I'd like watch outside as I heard like the occasional whinny and saw horses walking through, trotting, marching along, and kicking up dust, flicking their tails to swat flies. I could see like the heat from the day. My mom told me it was hotter outside than it would be in the car, so I could see the heat from the day kind of pouring in at the light, coming through the window on one side. The mixture of dust and horse and dog hair like kicked up kind of gave the light shape. You could see the waves, the rays coming down. But I went back to my movie, but soon before Shrek could plant true love's kiss on Fiona's ogre lips, it started to get a lot hotter. But I didn't notice it at first. I didn't feel the sweat dripping down my back or the dampness of my hair until my forehead started flooding onto the display in front of me. And I noticed how hot it was. I looked outside and I saw in that window where the light was coming in, instead it was sort of shimmering like hot air over hotter pavement in a desert highway, kind of like that. So I, so smart, lowered myself because it was cooler on the floor, and smelt that gross, lovely mixture of dirt, sweat, and hay manure sort of thing, which I now love. It's like, it's a familiar home scent. It's still gross. But eventually it became too hot for me to stay on the floor. So I looked out the window, saw a horse lapping up water like a dog, not the one trapped in the car like me, the dumb 8-year-old. But I knew I had to get out. So I opened the door and expected the world to punish me for going against what my mom said, this blast of hot air, but instead I was like just overwhelmed with a rush of the cool breeze that was outside. It was so much cooler out there. It was like a Slurpee after a really long run. Like, it's uncomfortable, but it still feels really good. So I waited there, I finished the movie, I kept scrubbing back and forth to see the scenes where they'd sing along or where Gingerbread Man was just getting like torn apart. And then I saw my mom on the horizon, this familiar figure next to this massive beast, not a soccer mom, with my sister on top. And I was waiting for my punishment. She came in and she didn't yell at me about leaving the car. She yelled at me for not. She turned on the heat instead of the AC by accident. So that's why it was getting so hot in there. And it's my fault for not escaping earlier, which, yeah, I'm an idiot, should have left. When I heard about this prompt, about what we should be doing, and I called my mom, because I call my mom every day, and I asked her what she thinks I should tell, and I was thinking about this story, and she was furious. It's so embarrassing for her, I never let her live it down. And then I went home for Thanksgiving, and she had told my family, we always have a big one, and they were telling me all these other stories I should tell, what horrible memories they had of my childhood, and sort of trying to impress you guys with my triumphs and tragedies. But I'm particularly proud of this story, and I wanted to tell this story even though my mom hates it, partly because it's my first instance that everyone goes through where you realize your parents aren't the superheroes you thought they were. They don't know everything. They're just kids in big bodies with more responsibilities trying to figure shit out. But everyone comes to that. I may have come to it a little earlier. I like this story particularly because it reminds me how much work my single mother did to ensure that her children had as much fun in their childhood, as much of a normal childhood as they could. We were distracted by the possibilities that what we could do instead of by the family drug abuse, our financial situation, my father's alcoholism and his absence. Instead, I have just small memories where my mom fucks up and I can laugh about that. So for that, I'm so immensely proud of this story. And I'll keep telling it even though my mom hates it.